But let's get into our GOAT tag team bracket. Let me add it to the stage. Yes, the GOAT tag team bracket. Of course, we had the Dudley Boys defeating the Hart Foundation. We had the New Day defeating Edge and Christian. That was highly controversial, but I think we made the right call. We had the Hardys defeating the New Age Outlaws, and we had the Usos, another controversial win, defeating the Road Warriors. But in the second matchup here, we have the Dudley Boys versus the New Day. Um, who do you guys have in this one? Obviously, two great tag teams. I guess you can say in some way, weirdly enough, brothers. But who do you guys have in this one? The Dudley Boys versus the New Day. Um, yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was really tough. I mean, I've been thinking about this for a week, and I'm still not like 100% like, clear on a specific team in either matchup for that matter. I mean, we
Masters of the masters of the tables and the masters of positivity.
Yeah.
and these two teams actually feuded with each other on our Raw during those days.
Was that 2016 or so?
Yeah, they did. Actually, when the Dudley Boys initially came back for their last run at Monday Night Raw, they came back and attacked the New Day. So I mean, we talked about last week about obviously both teams, their accolades. I know we talked about the Dudley Boys and talk about their impact on like a hardcore wrestling, with ECW, being a part of that the initial tag team revolution in 2000 with Edge and Christian and the Hardys. So them being innovators. That plays a significant role, obviously. And then obviously when you talk about the New Day's impact, them being initially essentially a three-man group, and all the trials and tribulations they went through, being preachers at first that were hated by the audience, then becoming heels that the crowd became entertained by, to where they are now with them having this 10-year anniversary coming up on a Raw. So when you think about that, so we think about impact both of those ways, it really can go either way. But but this is why this is tough. But I gotta go with the Dudley Boys here, because at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, not only do they have the tag team title reigns, but the fact that they pretty much were tag team champions everywhere that they went, and at the end of the day, we are talking, tag team. When you think about the New Day, I mean, you're talking about Big E and Kofi, or you're talking about Woods and Kofi. So there's still people that are still debating, okay, which tandem in the New Day was actually the better tandem. I mean, I'm always gonna go Big E and Kofi, but then when Big E was out all the time, and you had Woods and Kofi, then they had very entertaining matches together as well. So you think about that, and then you look at the Dudleys and how they were together for over a decade, and everywhere they went, and like I said, everywhere they went, they won. And so for that reason, I'm gonna have to go with the Dudleys to the finals.
You know what's funny is that looking at this matchup, I was actually leaning. I was all like gonna go in from the New Day, but now I'm looking at everything now, and after everything that Brian said, I'm gonna have to go with Dudleys as well, just because. Yes. And I said this from the beginning. It is a generational thing. Obviously, I grew up with the Dudleys. Everything with them, get the tables, the TLC ladder matches. Amazing. They're still relevant this day and age. We wouldn't have tag team wrestling if it wasn't for them.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I also was there with the New Day from the beginning, and them seeing their progression from heels to baby faces to and everything they did. And I was so impressed with them being the longest tag team champs for 483 days. And then obviously getting Kofi Mania and then Big E and all that. Well, obviously that's not part of the tag team stuff, but it's just how they elevated and continued to grow. But the Dudleys are also undeniable. They ECW, WWE, TNA, whatever other indie promotions. Like, you look at that photo right there. Look at all the titles they have claimed. They have done it all. It is a generational thing, but I think when it comes to tag teams and the stamp and a culmination of everything, you got to go Dudleys.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say, I was going into this more so New Day, but the Dudleys are also undeniable. So
yeah,
this is tough. This is tough because I love both these tag teams and I love the New Day, but I got to go with you guys. I got to go with the Dudleys. There's just too much history there, and you don't really think about it because I didn't see much of their ECW days, but you always see clips of them breaking tables, putting people through tables with the tie-dye shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm even thinking back to even when they were in TNA, when they were battling LAX, the Latin American exchange there when they first went to TNA and stuff like that, and all the battles that they've had with various tag teams and that promotion that are memorable. And let alone WWF and what they've been able to do there. Bubba Ray returned to WWE in NXT tonight. So, you're still getting these guys around, and they just been in it for so long that it's tough to pick against them. And I think the thing that's different between them and the Road Warriors is that they've actually had success everywhere on a monumental level that even the New Day, as great as they are, haven't been able to touch in their 10 years, right? And they feel like they've been together forever, but the Dudleys have been together forever, literally forever. So to get that standpoint, I got to go with the Dudleys as well in this one. Damn, sorry, New Day. Sorry, Xavier. Sorry, Up, Down channel, and you guys playing Tekken and doing all that stuff, but in their podcast and stuff like that. But it's just like the Dudleys are just... they're just ironclad, man, to me in this one. Again, I remember all the stuff from even going all the way up to TNA. So it's like, it's tough to just not pick them in this matchup.
Yeah.
But let's keep moving on to our next matchup.
Okay. Do we have to do this next one, man? No, because no. Because before you even explain both of these teams, I mean, I'm still so undecided on this one that oh my goodness, the brothers, the brothers, two sets of brothers.
How this matchup came about, right?
I mean,
I'll go first since you guys are hesitant.
Well, I mean,
the bloodline, that run, We the Ones, was iconic in its own right, and especially in this day in modern tag team wrestling. It's so tough to pick in this one, but that bloodline story arc brought tag team wrestling to a different level in its own right. Main event level status.
Yeah.
Like literally main event level status at WrestleMania. And yes, it was Super Kicks, and was it the best tag team match of all time? I wouldn't say that. I would say TLC. Was it 2? I would say TLC 2 probably did that for me, but just to that monumental level, the story behind it to show that tag team wrestling can be main event level wrestling. And that's something that the Hardys didn't do. that's where I'm at on this one. It's just like, even though yes, it was on the back of a faction, you should say, in terms of the bloodline and what they've done, but it's like Jimmy and Jay brought that main event level appeal to tag team wrestling, and that's something that I don't know. This is tough. This is tough. Yeah, Am I going to pick the Usos over the Hardy Boys?
You had to think about that for a second. You were so sure about the Usos, but then right in the middle of your thought, you started thinking, "Oh, the Hardys." You put the Hardys in the same category. So that's what
they did.
That's what was happening to me.
Because they did raise it to another level with TLC, the ladder matches, Team Extreme. They did bring it to another level, and they had other guys in the dance with them, but they were vital and part of that. But it's like that Uso thing, man. It's just like people are going to hate me for this, but it's just like they brought that to a different level, man. Like main event level storytelling for me. And I think that's the difference in this one. I got to go with the Usos.
Really?
I feel nasty about it, but you got to go with the Usos.
So I'll say this. You're right, Daniel. The Usos did show with that run, main eventing WrestleMania, that tag team wrestling that tag team wrestling could be main event. However, if there is no Hardy Boys, there is no such thing as any tag team wrestling, being popular. Period. I mean, if it wasn't for the Hardys, I mean, the Usos wouldn't even had an opportunity to show that tag team wrestling could be main event level, because they brought it to the forefront with Edge and Christian and the Dudleys. But I mean, before the Hardys, I mean, tag team wrestling in WWE was pretty much you had the New Age Outlaws, but and you had other teams as well, but the Hardys brought a different style. They initially started off with Michael Hayes, and then they became Team Extreme, with the ladders and everything. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying about the Usos and that long reign and their dominance, and obviously they do have a valid argument. But then when I look at the Hardy Boys, see, this is why this is so tough. But I can't because I'm already kicking myself about a previous matchup. So I gotta go with the Hardys, man. I gotta go with the Hardys over the Usos. So. All right.
There we go, Lord. You gotta break the tie.
Break the tie.
See, that Dan kind of changed my mind, and then yeah, I'm gonna have to go Hardys. As much as how much the Usos elevated tag team wrestling and the main event WrestleMania is obviously iconic, the Hardys are another undeniable that stands the test of time. Come on now, like the TLCs is just like they're still relevant to this day, integrating all that, and then them as well, just as the Dudleys, tag team belts, every promotion they've ever been to, still winning tag team belts. Reinventing.
Thank you, Ring of Honor.
So it sucks because I wanted to do kind of like a one older generation, newer generation tag team, but it's like, these are the staples that, we got to look at every aspect of it, so I got to go Hardys.
I'm so disappointed in you guys.
I'm disappointed.
How are you taking away from the Hardy Boys? How dare you?
Did the Hardy Boys have a rap battle in the middle of the ring? No.
Give me a highlight the Usos have compared to the highlights the Hardys have.
that Hell in a Cell tag team match with the New Day.
One.
Main eventing WrestleMania night 1.
Two.
2. They've had countless of matches, man.
All right, now give me all the Hardy Boy stuff.
TLC.
Yep.
The stuff with Edge and Christian. I remember the steel cage match they had with Edge and Christian.
Yep.
Did they have that? Was that the return at WrestleMania 33?
Mm-hmm.
They won that ladder match there.
Arguably one of the greatest returns ever in WrestleMania, WrestleMania history.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
So disappointed in you guys.
But look at it this way. Our final is essentially for our generation. So we can put out a poll. We can put out a poll, the same type of poll that you put out on social media. And I guarantee you that nobody that will get like a 50-50 or like 51-49 or something like this, because there's still a debate amongst these two teams even now. So
yeah, I can do that. I can put up a poll again. But yeah, you guys pick the Hardys. I'm hurt. Because I really like the Usos, man. They really I remember when they were baby faces coming in and everybody was like, all right, you can't tell the one without the other.
Yeah.
All that stuff. They had the bright colors, and then to just simply change their whole look and appeal and do what they did in that tag team division, man. It's just like, damn.
And
undisputed tag team champion.
To the Uso Penitentiary was so great.
Yeah.
That's where they became them. That's where they became who they wanted to be. The whole face paint and the entrance and everything was cool for a while, more so for the kids. But then that change.
And that's the thing. I don't think anyone liked them, kind of similar to the New Day in that, right? Like, nobody liked them as baby faces at first.
They did. They were super popular with the face paint. Yes, they were. Because they were that for a good 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Daniel, they were popular when they used to come out with doing the Samoan War dance and stuff. They were at first. The people did.
Yeah, they won the titles I think at least 3 times in that version of themselves.
I gotta check it back because I don't think people really cared.
Yes, no, because it was in the height.
You just didn't see it as much.
Yeah, it was in the height of the PG area, and they were selling merch. They had people doing the paint and everything, their war dance was always a big thing. But then I think that's what happened. It got stale, and they're like, y'all losing. Yeah, I gotta switch it up if y'all want to succeed, and that's what did it for them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But yeah, it looks like we got the Dudley Boys versus the Hardys in the finals. Only seems right to have 2 Attitude Tag teams in the finals, right? So I guess we have that.
And of course, the winners of all those TLC matches aren't in it.
Hey.
Damn you, Edge and Christian. It still irks me that they won all of them.
Yeah,
it does. It does.
It irks the hell out of me.
They have to catch an L at some
point. Take anything away, but the Dudleys and Hardys were just so good and so cool. I was like,
and I like those teams better.
I did.
I was always cheering for the Dudley Boys or the Hardys against Edge and Christian, and it's just like,
how do they keep the Dudleys to win more?
Yeah. I was just like, how do they keep winning?
No,
thievery.
God damn it. But now, definitely tough matchup coming up again. But yeah, we got the Dudley Boys versus the Hardys in the tag team bracket finals. We'll be talking about that next week. We'll see what happens with the developing stories of the bloodline and see what happens with Cody Rhodes and Gunther as they continue to. What is this? What am I trying to say here? Continue to go on their championship runs, their championship reigns, and see who else they can face. But that will be doing it for me, Brian, and Lewis. And until next time, always kick out on 2. Thank you, guys.